Hey, first grade, ready for your art lesson with your friendly neighborhood art teacher? So, before we begin, you're going to need paper, lined paper or pencil, lined paper or printing paper is fine. You'll need a pencil and eraser, and you're going to need some sort of coloring supplies, crayons, colored pencils, or markers. Before we go any further, I would like for you to take a few minutes and watch Austin's Butterfly. That is the link there, but there's also the link on your daily sheet from your teacher, or you can just Google it if you need to. But I'd like you to watch that video so you have a good idea about observational art and how to look at things in the pictures, but also about how we are going to be practicing our art again and again, the same one, to make it better. So I'm going to pause for a minute. You go watch the video and then come back to me. All right. Your expedition this semester has been about birds and their amazing bodies. Your guiding questions have been: how do birds use their body parts to survive? How can we make the Amana Living Garden more bird-friendly? And how can writing help our community learn about birds? Today, your learning targets are going to be: I can look closely at a picture for details. I can draw these details on my own artwork. And I can practice my artwork more than one time. You are going to be drawing this hummingbird a few times. Today is going to be a practice, and then we're going to practice it again, and you're going to learn some other techniques to make your artwork look even more realistic. Now, we're going to look at 3 examples of art. 2 of them are student art, and then one of them is a not-so-great picture that I drew. And I drew it on purpose, so you have that good comparison of good art versus not-so-good art. So, this is an example of some good art. I would like to point out that this is clearly a hummingbird. I like how she went through and she also wrote down all of the details. I'm not going to make you write down all the details, but I like how she was able to show them to us. You can tell that this is supposed to be a hummingbird. It's got the right colors. It's got the right beak, and it's got the right feathers, and it's got a good pose to show that it is a hummingbird. This is another good example of a student's artwork. This is very similar. I like the way that it's the right colors. You've got the right size. You've got the right shapes. You've got the right beaks, and you've got the wings going out. Now, between the 2 of these, I think my biggest suggestion would be that we need to look at the size of the bodies. Both of the bodies are a bit big for the hummingbird. That's about the only thing that I would suggest right now for those. Now let's take a look at a not so great picture, the one that I drew. This is the kind of thing that I don't want to get from people, because it's clear that this is something rushed. I know, because I rushed it when I did it. The body is way too big, the head is way too small. It's missing one wing. There are no details at all for the picture, and the coloring is just plain awful. I know, because I scribbled it on purpose. I've been getting some artwork where it looks clear that you spent a lot of time drawing, but not as much time coloring. So remember, when we're trying to color, we're aiming for an expert to mentor level coloring, which means we don't want to have a lot of open white spaces. Now I'm going to show you the picture of the hummingbird that we're going to use for our model. I want you to take a look at it before you really start to draw it. I want you to look for details. Look for some shapes. We know shapes that are already in birds. We know that mostly we're going to have ovals, and then we're going to have some circles, and we're going to have some triangles. But I want you to try and look for some really little details. Look at the wings. Look and see how much of the wings you see. the wing shouldn't be the same size on a picture because one wing is going to be behind the other one where the other one is closer. So when we look at this picture, and today I want you to just practice just drawing it. You don't have to turn this into me today. I don't want you to turn anything into me for this bird until next Thursday. So today you practice the bird. So this is our picture of the hummingbird that we're going to look at. You can see that there's a little bit of difference, and I know that there's some blurry parts because it's a hummingbird and they don't stay still very easily, but I think you can still figure out some of the details to look for. Do we see much of the other wing? No, we don't, but there's still a little bit of it back there. Not a whole bunch, but a little bit. Now look at how long this wing stretches out. If you compare the length of this wing to the length of his body, you discover it's the same size. So if you're drawing a bird and its body is huge and the wings are tiny, then you might want to reconsider and practice a new one. It is okay to practice again. It is okay to start a new piece. You can erase it, you can flip over to the other side, work on what you can. So this is the picture that I want you to look at when you were working on the bird. Your task today is, using your observation skills, practice drawing the hummingbird from the picture. Your reflection is to talk to your home teacher about what you think was the hardest to draw in the hummingbird picture. And turn in today your spring break artwork from Tuesday. If you have any questions, you can email me at afranz@amanaacademy.org. The following is the link to the Google site, but that's also on your daily sheets. So today you're practicing your hummingbird. I want you to practice it at least once. Next week we're going to be learning techniques, how to make your hummingbird or any bird look a little bit more realistic. So today's practice, give it a shot. Be patient, look for the details, you can do it, and I will see you guys next week.